The following question is for Mark. Mark, since you are seen as a somewhat quiet, reserved person, how do you plan on communicating with students as their president?
Well, I like to think before I speak. Hence, I'm a philosophy major. But one idea I've thought about is having a presidential fireside chat, giving students the opportunity to have Q&A with the president, either in a forum style or even doing it on the radio, on Biola radio, as one of our former U.S. presidents once did, fireside chats. Just to encourage direct contact with the head of AS, to get ideas out there explicitly and clearly. And I'm prepared to do, whatever I need to do in order to better hear students' voices.
Next question is addressed to Cameron. And it is, Cameron, records show that you voted down the Hitchens debate. Getting big name speakers played a large role in Weaver's campaign and vision, who won by a large percent of the student vote last year. This event has also proven to be immensely popular with students, with nearly 500 tickets being sold in 3 days, roughly 6,000 in total. Will you support getting big name speakers next year if elected?
Yes, I will. I think that Biola has a lot of resources within different departments, and I think that getting big name speakers is a great thing for Biola, but apart from spending thousands upon thousands upon thousands of the student fee money that goes to AS, we need to look to other departments to help fund that and to fund that primarily. And giving part of, a small percentage, or not a small percentage, but a percentage of AS's money to help that is a good idea. But I don't think that AS should be the solely responsible for paying for all of these people to come in. We need to work with other departments on campus to really utilize the connections that they have, alumni, as well as funding from them.
To press you on that question, the thousands and thousands, as I understand, was $8,000, and it made up only about 10% of the total budget for the event. So when speaking about working with other departments as well as other features of Biola, it seems that was done notably with Biola apologetics as well as with Metzger pitching in. So how is it that you see the Hitchens debate in particular as giving too much?
Well, I think that AS was in a unique position this year with the lack of funding that AS received, as well as some discrepancies in the fall that we learned about. And I saw, part of the way that we were able to fund putting Hitchens on was to significantly decrease and almost cut the funding for the spring concert budget. And I talked to a lot of students about that, and a lot of students on campus really love the concerts that AS puts on, and they told me, we don't think that we should be spending $8,000 to bring in an atheist to speak here. I think that, like you said, it was done to work with different departments, but I think that the specific situation AS was in with the lack of funding this year, we should have given less, and more resources should have been utilized outside of AS.
Mark, if it came to you and you had to choose between a band or a speaker, what would be your choice?
Maybe we can have both in one. Stephen Curtis Chapman used to play concerts and then preach. So it would probably be difficult, but I'd have to look at the individual situation. Obviously, I would lean towards the speaker because that's going to enhance Biola as a whole, and doing that, being that all alumni have Biola written on their degree, on their plaque, enhancing and contributing to Biola as a whole will contribute to every student on campus.
I want to make it clear that I'm not against bringing in academic speakers, but given the situation financially that AS was in, I didn't think it was wise to spend $8,000 on bringing an atheist in this semester we're talking about.
this is to both. It's a little more general and lighter than the questions that have been asked previously. Do you have any big project ideas for Biola? Mark, would you like to start us off?
Biola, I think, needs to have, and this has begun to take action already, it's begun to happen already with the Journal of Spiritual Formation, as well as other journals that Biola produces. I think that Biola needs to have a centralized interdepartmental center or resource for not only undergraduate students, well, all students, I guess, on campus, as well as faculty to use and to contribute to, that would address issues in our culture. We don't really have an ethics center on campus, or we don't really have a center for Christian thought or anything like that. We have the Institute for Spiritual Formation, which is definitely contributing to the world of ideas. But I think that we need to have a profound way to address issues of the culture. That would be a resource not only for people outside Biola, but as well as for Biola students and faculty to use as well.
Cameron?
Yes, I've talked a lot about getting students connected with internships and jobs and volunteer opportunities, and I think that really Biola as well as AS needs to focus on improving connections with alumni, and I think getting an alumni network set up within each department and a strong alumni network set up within each department to offer those internships and get that started. That's a long process, but getting that started is something that Biola should work on. And secondly, having open dialogue on specific topics at Biola with Biola professors and relevant topics today, such as you brought up earlier, the gay rights movement and stuff like that, as well as even abortion and different topics that are relevant to today and to society. Hearing in a more relaxed setting from Biola professors in a dialogue manner as to how to address those issues and how to talk about